My name is Isabella. I have a little secret. I understand English. But when I try to speak, everything goes wrong. Words don't come out right. My tongue freezes. Sometimes I say something so silly that people laugh. It all started on my first trip abroad. I went to London, a city I had always dreamed about. The excitement was real, but so was the fear. I could understand everything people said, but speaking? That was a different story. On my second day, I walked into a burger shop. The man at the counter smiled and said, "Hello. What would you like?" I froze. My brain knew what I wanted, but my mouth didn't cooperate. I felt my face turn red. So, I did the only thing I could. I pointed at a picture on the menu. The man smiled kindly. "Anything else you need?" I wanted to say, "No, that's all." But the words were stuck. I shook my head, embarrassed. I quickly paid, and he handed me the burger with a warm smile. I nodded my thanks and ran out. That day, I promised myself, this has to change. When I got home, I joined an English class. My teacher, Mr. Robert, was kind and patient. On my very first day, he asked me, "Isabella, what's your favorite coffee?" I understood the question. I smiled confidently and said, "I was cappuccino." The room erupted in laughter. I blinked, feeling my cheeks burn. I realized I had just said something funny without meaning to. Mr. Robert raised his hand and silenced the class. "It's okay, Isabella. We all make mistakes when we are learning. But the right way to say it is, I like cappuccino." At first, I wanted to hide. But then, I laughed too. For the first time, it felt okay to make mistakes. From that day on, I started practicing. Every morning, I stood in front of my mirror and said simple sentences. "How are you?" Can I have this? Where is the bus stop? But it wasn't easy. One day, I went to the library to find a book. I wanted to say, I need a novel. Instead, I said, I need a navel. The librarian looked confused. I smiled awkwardly. Another time, a waiter asked, "What would you like to order?" I panicked. My words got mixed up. And I said, I like food. He smiled politely. I wanted to disappear. The worst was on a bus. I couldn't understand the driver's instructions. I just stood there, holding up the line, feeling like a fool. I started to doubt myself. Maybe I would never learn. Maybe I would always just point instead of speak. But then I thought of something. A baby trying to walk. He falls 100 times. But he always gets back up. One day, I went to a bookstore to buy an English novel. The shop owner saw me struggling and smiled. "Start small," he said. "Read simple books out loud. Practice every day. You will get there." His words stuck with me. So I kept going. I practiced every day. Even when I felt silly. I made mistakes. But I learned from them. Slowly, I got better. Now, when I look back, I smile at those embarrassing moments. The burger shop. The I was cappuccino day. The librarian. They all taught me something. Mistakes are part of the journey. Learning English is hard. But it's worth it. Every mistake I made gave me a chance to grow. And you know what? I'm proud of myself. I may not speak perfectly, but I'm not afraid to try. And that's what matters most.